For the first time in the longest time, I've woken up with the zestiness to crack on with the van build. The sun is out, and along with not feeling like a bag of nails, spirits within are high. As I make my way down to the soon extinct home base to get some brushes, paint, and crack on with the floor in the vat. Home base's car park seemed just a tad eerily quiet, given its, what I thought, impending closure. A local home base has been closing down. I thought, oh, you know what? I'll come in and go and get myself some cheap brushes. Looks like I was a day too late. Bugger. Next up, Wickes. A warehouse masquerading as a shop where the real traders only go on a pinch when they're absolutely desperate, or the clean, wary DeWalt types like myself. And with basically less than a clue, I came up with Clean Spirits, which turns out to be absolutely useless for cleaning your brushes, and indeed, a set of brushes. Bringing with the swagger of a hard morning's work done, there's only one possible thing to do this early on, and that's to get one of best bacon rolls in Pembrokeshire, Wales. Now, the world. Leave a comment down below if you have a bacon roll van that you think is worthy of this accolade, and I'll possibly go and review it, because I'm out of content ideas after the van build. Now armed with my bacon and egg roll with brown sauce, because that's the proper sauce to have on a bacon and egg roll with the fat cut off, I started making my way back home. However, that zestiness and big burst of energy was somewhat leaving my body and soul. As I was just driving back home, I really wasn't starting to feel too good. I was feeling washed out, drained, and just not myself. Blaming it on this so-called bug that I'd had since, what was it now, January. I got home and devoured the roll of deliciousness, and then that was it for the rest of the day. I wasn't feeling well. I went to bed for the rest of the day, and the next day, things were about to get a lot worse. And that's when I discovered it wasn't some mysterious bug that I'd had. Right, well, it's been a while since I've done this. It's been 6 weeks since I last recorded the voiceover for the bit of video that I've just done. And if you're looking at me thinking, do you feel as bad as you look? The answer is yes. Yes, I do, because I am on a whole boatload of drugs. Why am I on all these drugs, you might be asking? Well, I had a heart attack. In fact, I had two, but one was like really minor, but I'm still counting it as two. So you know those times in my videos where I've been working on the van and then not feeling too well and blaming it all on this bug that's going around? You must think of my blood pressure. I've been blighted with whatever this virus thing is going around. Because I've had this weird bug that's going around. Because after the last bit of video, I got ill once again. I still have this bug thing that's just wiping me sideways. Yes, it was a bit of the bug that was going around. Unfortunately, that was masking something a lot worse, namely my blood pressure, which, if I recall, was about 150, well, about 140 to 170 over 100 to 130. For those of you who don't know, that is serious stage 2 hypertension and potential heart attack territory. Well, obviously in my case, not potential, because I had one. So if you have been feeling down for a little bit, or not feeling too well I should say, and you have been feeling tired and achy, go and get yourself sorted out. A day and a half later, after not feeling too well and this apparent bug, I had a heart attack. Quite a biggie, but basically I woke up in the morning and my arm was a bit tingly, couldn't quite shake it off. Then I was having a bit of wind just here, going. Then I was getting out of breath. So being a man, tried to sleep it off, didn't work, went and got a cup of tea, didn't work, and that was it. I made the phone call, and then, I was taken to hospital. I had 2 heart attacks now, I think, on it. But anyway, it went a little bit something like this. Came to hospital, was in the waiting room, went to triage, had 2 lots of ECGs, and then put into a little holding cell where basically stand up, sit down, turn around, your cars look fine. And then the nurse walks past and you look a bit uncomfortable. And I was given some drugs. And those drugs were amazing because I was 7 foot tall and I counted all the little individual cleats in the, what do you call it? The towel rail thing, curtains, that's the word. 24 of them. Thinking about it, I might have been a little bit high. After that, I went for a chest x-ray, I believe. And then they said to me, and this is the critical thing, do you mind waiting back in the patient's area? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, you're the nurse, doctory person. Of course, if I think I'm going to have to wait there, so be it. Now, obviously, nobody knew what was happening because we had to wait for my blood tests to come back. What was happening, that was going to be divulged to me after about 40 minutes of waiting, which was quick, by the way. I'm not criticising the NHS, I'm not criticising anything like that, nor is this as a pity party either. They've done me good, the NHS. If you have your issues, very sorry about that, but this is part of my van life video. I was having the big part of the heart attack while in the waiting area. Thankfully, the nurse, matron, sister came out, literally looked around, looked to me and went, I'll just go get something to make you more comfortable. In that way that only nurses can do when they're going, bugger, 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 but I will do what I'm trained for, keep a calm demeanour. Next thing you know, things happened a bit rapidly. I was walked into a room, and this second that my buttocks hit the bed, the doctor didn't even look at me, turned around to my partner and said, yeah, he's had a heart attack. We think he's still having a heart attack. His T-pose or something are high. Basically something in my blood that's supposed to be 0 was up to 650. So they put me on the bed. And when I say the bed, this is the one in the films where they go, start, crash, and then buzz the living bollocks out of you to save your life. I didn't know this because I was off my tits on drugs. I shouldn't joke about it, but there was a moment that so I could move wards, they brought the bed up, and it was that Star Wars moment where I go, arise, my young apprentice. And I actually got a laugh out of 1 or 2 people. Jeez, if I didn't have a sense of humour. There's more bad stuff that's happened, but I'll go into that in a second because there's more to come. Being out of the danger zone, I was then taken up to the ward, put on constant monitoring, had the ECG stuck up on me, and that was when a day and a half later, I had a small little mini heart attack. But that's okay, it wasn't that bad. I obviously survived, like I'm recording here. Right, and then there's someone here and I feel really awkward recording, so I'm going to have to go elsewhere. By God, I do look like a bag of nails. After 4 days of constant monitoring, they put me on a mobile monitor, so at least I just wasn't stuck in bed. And then they're waiting to send me to a different hospital to have an angiogram, where basically they put something up your arm to check for blocked bits and bobs. Whilst waiting, we had another patient come in who had COVID, which meant that Morriston wouldn't take any other patients because obviously they don't want to spread it, and they had a small outbreak as well. Cue another 10 days of being in hospital. Eventually, I did get to the next hospital, had the angiogram. However, I can't drive for 4 weeks and I've been signed off work for 6 weeks. On top of me having to move because they want to sell my house, one of my dogs passing away whilst I was in hospital, now work are looking to terminate my employment. They want to have an off-the-record conversation about it. All of this, while I'm trying to get better, sort of without wanting to do the pity party thing. This isn't the pity party video, it's just part of the van life, because I've got to factor all this in while I move into my van. But it certainly does feel that I'm getting a bit of a kicking. Where are things now? Well, the work thing has certainly added to my stress. I'm trying to keep my stress down. But yeah, I've got to somehow crack on with my van. The problem is, as I alluded to earlier, I'm on a boatload of pills and I run out of energy quite quickly. In fact, recording this for the last 40 minutes, I'm probably going to go home and get some sleep because I just gas out absolutely horrendously. I've been off work for 2 weeks now. I've got another 4 weeks off, and in 2 weeks I can drive. And then basically, God knows. So it's going to be mid-May before I'm back on the road and working, if I have a job. And then that gives me 6 weeks to get not only my van done, but also move my stuff into storage. Oh, hello. Hello, mate. Oh, I'm really sorry I haven't got any food for you, but I'd feed you, Val. My spiritual animal. That's cheered me up a little bit. Anyway, where was I? And this is the thing, right? I need to chill. I need to keep my blood pressure down, which is what's put me partly in this situation. I can walk about 1.5 kilometers before I start gassing out. And when I say gassing out, it'd be like breathing heavy, I need to sit down, and then invariably I have a nap. Again, due to the mountains of pills that I have. Then I've also got to move my stuff into storage and a whole host load of things as well. I'm also doing this on pretty much no money because obviously I'm not working, I'm only getting SSP, which isn't going to cover the bills. I know this is not a pity party, this is not a, oh whoa, send me money, nothing like that. You want to show a bit of support, a thumb up would be nice on the video, genuinely. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing next. I really, really don't. The only thing I can do is go home and have a cup of tea.